Introduction about the Egyptian Museum. The Egyptian Museum was a great idea which invented by the French archaeologist Auguste Mariot to be a house for the Egyptian monuments which excavated from all over Egypt. The first time the Egyptians understood value of the monuments dating to the end of the 18th century and the beginning of 19th century. After the French expedition came to Egypt under the leadership of Napoleon Bonaparte, and before this time, Egyptian monuments were subject to bought and sold. At the first time, the Egyptian monuments were displayed in a room in the citadel. Then excavations in Egypt increased in a number, and the small room was too small to be a house of these huge monuments. Auguste Mariot decided to keep these monuments in the garden of a palace in Boulak. But during the time of the Nile flood, the water filled the garden and a lot of monuments were damaged and stolen. After that, he decided for building a huge museum to protect this monument from damage, and he chose a palace was French military camp in Al Ismailia Square, now Al Tahrir Square. The building started in 1897 and opened during the ruling of Khedive Abbas Hilmi in 1901. But Auguste Mariot died before the opening, and the French archaeologist Justin Maspero who completed, and he was the first director for the museum. The museum had built by Italian company and designed by French design, gathering between the Egyptian art and Greco-Roman art. The museum built by 3 floors. The first one is underground. This used as a store to the monuments. The second one for the huge statues and sarcophags. The third one for the small jewelry and King Tutankhamun monument. The garden of the museum. This garden, known as Open Museum, it includes a lot of monuments which dating back to a different period, and all of it are original, found in a different archaeological site. Near to the entrance, there are a small lake of water. It is a house of a papyrus and lotus flowers, which were sacred in ancient Egypt, also were symbols of Upper and Lower Egypt. On the left side of the entrance, there are a white marble cenotaph. This cenotaph or tomb of Auguste Mariot, who known by the name of Father of the Egyptian Museum. There are a statue for him looking at the entrance, and there are small busts statues for the persons who helped him in his work, from archaeologists, scholars, and Egyptologists. But Auguste Mariot not buried here. This is a simple tomb for him, but he buried in Forcemar in France, in a tomb by the shape of the pyramid. The facade of the museum. The facade of the museum designed in a very unique style. At the top of the entrance, there are a head of goddess Hathor, goddess of love, music, and motherhood in ancient Egypt, and she flanked by 2 figures of goddess Isis by Greco-Roman style. At the top of the facade, there are 2 letters, letter A and letter H, referring to Abbas Hilmi, ruler of Egypt during the opening of the museum. And there are other 2 letters, letter A and letter M, referring to Auguste Mariot. On both sides of the statues of Isis, Along the facade there are white rectangular panels carrying the names of some kings and queens who ruled Egypt.